All right, Ronan MMA, welcome back to the channel. So yesterday, Kevin Holland and Jorge Masvidal had a little backstage altercation, I guess if you could call it that. I see some people calling it a scuffle or a fight. That was definitely not a scuffle or a fight unless there's like an unreleased video that I haven't seen. Um, it was weird though, very weird timing because as soon as I uploaded my media day reaction, where I asked people in the audience to tell me why do Jorge Masvidal and Kevin Holland not like each other, because Kevin Holland said that I think he hates, or at the least dislikes, Jorge Masvidal strongly, and I couldn't figure out why, because I had never heard of them beefing. I had never seen any headlines regarding the two or anything like that, but I did some sleuthing, went back and found a few things, so I'm going to go over those. We'll piece together the lore a little bit here, and then I'm going to give my theory as to why I think that Kevin Holland doesn't like Jorge Masvidal, and I'm going to give my prediction on a potential, if there ever would be, a fight between these two at the very end. But before we do, please like and subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate it, eh? I'll thank you in advance because I'm Canadian, eh? So thank you very much for your subscription. I greatly appreciate it. Now let's get right into it. So, again, yeah, yesterday, Kevin Holland at Media Day says something along the lines of, you guys know I hate Jorge Masvidal, or you guys know I don't like Jorge Masvidal, something like that. And to be fair, I was throwing shade at Kevin Holland a little bit yesterday, not because of that, but because he continuously brings up that he broke his hand during the Wonder Boy fight, as if that's some sort of like excuse, like had I not broken my hand, I would have won. Um, his fans all like say the exact same thing. Well, he broke it really early, first punch he threw or whatever. It's like, no, he didn't. Okay, he may have said that after the fight. You can go back and watch the fight. When he started complaining about it was at the end of the second round, going in between rounds 2 and round 3, because right before the end of that round, he had blocked a wheel kick one-handed with his right hand. After that, he threw no more punches with his right hand, and the following round, he turned into Stephen Wonderboy Thompson's punching bag. I think for the rest of round 3, and then his corner threw in the towel, right, for round 4, if that's correct. I hope it is. But anyways, so that was why I threw shade at him. I said he was carrying around an IV bag of copium, and I thought that Israel Adesanya would have been with the copium, but whatever. There might have been something else in his IV bag, guys, because he's riled up for some reason. But I went and looked into it, and I was like, why don't they like each other? I literally typed that into Google. Why does Kevin Holland not like Jorge Masvidal? And I found a few articles and a few posts from Kevin Holland that are definitely along the lines of him not liking Jorge Masvidal. So one of them is, well, firstly, I think this is just a theory because I don't know Kevin Holland personally, obviously. I think he's a fan of the sport. He seems to be echoing a lot of the same sentiments, and at least in these older articles, that a lot of Jorge Masvidal fans or ex-Jorge Masvidal fans are echoing as well. There was I don't know if it was in an interview or what, but there was an article written where they quoted Kevin Holland saying, like, he's wearing Versace coats like Conor now. Ever since he won the BMF belt, he's buying chinchilla coats and jackets and whatever shit like this. So the general sentiment around that is, it seems to be like that Jorge Masvidal kind of sold out. And now I don't think that he sold out per se, but this is what I think happened, dude. I don't know how many of you guys are going to know what I'm talking about, but there was this reality TV show. I don't even know if it's still on the air because I stopped watching it after the first season, and I'll get to that in a second, called Duck Dynasty. They were these quirky dudes from fucking wherever, right, down south in America. I know that the grandpa or whatever has had some controversies regarding his religious views, but besides that, the first season I found to be like genuinely funny because they seemed genuine, like they were being themselves. And the funny thing was how somebody's actually like that. You know what I mean? Like the one uncle carrying around a cup of iced tea wherever he fucking goes, and just shit like that. Like they were just doing funny shit, but it seemed genuine. Because that show was popular, though, the following season, producers fuck everything's up, dude. Everything, not everything's, okay? Not a plural. Everything includes everything. Anyways, they fuck it up, dude. They do this to everything. Any good show, they go, we need more. They literally make the dudes ramp it up so that the next season you're watching it and you go, oh, this doesn't seem genuine. This actually seems scripted. Because while he said that, like, the old uncle dude, he had said like a phrase a couple times throughout the entirety of season 1. Season 2, all of a sudden, it's like every fucking time that they're, got a camera on them, and it's like a catchphrase all of a sudden. It's like, oh, well, you're just gonna sell merch with that fucking shit. It is so annoying, dude. They ruin shit. I genuinely think that that's what happened to Jorge Masvidal. I think that his manager, or like whatever, saw the kinds of things that were getting Jorge Masvidal fans after that Darren Till knockout, during the media day and press conference of that Darren Till knockout and shit like that. And they went, oh, we need to ramp it up, right? Like the 3-piece in a soda. And he's right on the timing. You see the biggest amount of change directly after the BMF belt, which, not a real belt, great promotional tool. And that's exactly why it became annoying to see it, because Jorge Masvidal now had this promotional tool that he could use to do ads, he could use to do what, like, you know what I mean? And then it just kept getting shoved in our faces, and we were like, we know this is bullshit. Also, it ended via doctor's stoppage because of a cut. How could the BMF belt end that way? You know what I mean? But either way, I think that that's what that's what he seems to be like echoing there, like talking about how he's wearing Versace shit like Connor now, chinchilla coats, all this shit, like, and he literally says ever since he won the BMF belt. And I think that that is when the most notable change happened in Jorge Masvidal's personality, or at the very least perceived personality. Because here's one thing too, I don't think Jorge Masvidal like does his own social media. I think that, of course, he'll film whatever he's asked to film for social media, but I don't think that he's ever sitting there with his phone like scrolling through Instagram replying to shit. I just don't. That he doesn't strike me as the kind of guy that does that. Whereas Kevin Holland, who is like 8 years younger, 8.5 years younger, whatever, almost a decade younger, okay? A different generation, okay? He's like almost my age. He's a little bit older than me, but he's almost my age. So we're of similar generation. He seems to be pretty immersed in like meme culture and shit like that. And, he's talked about gaming and having a Twitch channel and shit like this. So they're of completely different generations. But I think that the management team, whoever's in control of Jorge Masvidal's brand, fucked it for the old school fans of Jorge Masvidal. I liked Jorge Masvidal way before he blew up. And I was happy that I just said and like a fucking weirdo, dude. And, okay, I was happy when he started getting notoriety, because I love when dudes who fucking earn it get the notoriety. He'd been around forever, obviously, had fights with fucking so many good guys. Like, just, I talked about this in my prediction video. Like, how can you not respect him? If you don't like his personality now, that's fine. I don't fucking blame you. But as a professional fighter, the guy's been here for 20 years fighting professionally. Like, for somebody to have that kind of longevity, they got to be doing something right. And I think that it's worthy of respect. Fuck, I forgot what I was talking about for a second. Oh, I was happy when he started getting notoriety. But I did notice the change also. Like, I got because, dude, he hadn't changed yet. After the Ben Askren KO, first of all, like, I get that this also, just like the BMF thing, gets shoved down our throats way too much. Okay, Jeff Molina, stop. Shoved down our throats. When it happened, though, I witnessed it live, right? Not in person, but I was watching it. And I was watching it with my wife, and I fucking screamed. Like, I lost my shit. I couldn't believe that it had just happened. And that is, without a doubt, one of the fucking best KOs ever in UFC history. So I got like a black and white like canvas painting of it, and I've left it rolled up because he's annoyed me. And I'm like, nah, because if I put that up, I'm going to look like a casual. But that's not the case. I was just happy to see a guy who I had been a fan of finally getting his shine. But once he won that BMF belt, it did seem like everything changed. There's also, back to Kevin Holland being immersed in meme culture. He posted a meme, like he made a meme, which was fucking funny, dude. Like, I would imagine that somebody had to tell Jorge Masvidal that this thing even existed. And I don't know why you would get mad at this kind of shit, but I think it is just a different generation. Like people my age and younger or whatever, if somebody makes a meme, who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? It's funny most of the time. This, though, to him, I guess, is offensive. They put, Kevin Holland took a picture of Colby Covington, like, laying down in his bed with the fucking MAGA hat on and all that shit. And then there was a girl sitting on top of him. And then in the mirror, it's Jorge Masvidal's face. And they put a smiley face over, like, where the fucking ass would be, I guess. It's funny meme, dude. Calm down. And that's potentially another reason why Jorge Masvidal's upset with him, I guess, or angry at him, or could not like him, I guess. But I truly think that the reason Kevin Holland doesn't like him is because of what I spoke about, like the same shit that the fans are echoing. Kevin Holland, whether you like him or not, he strikes me as the kind of guy that he's not gonna fucking change. Like, he acts pretty much the exact same way when he made his UFC debut and got cut, right? And then now that he's making good bank every time out, he seems like the same kind of guy. He just wants his old cars, smoke some weed, and play fucking video games. There's another angle here, though. Okay. For those of you that don't remember, Kevin Holland stopped a shooter in a restaurant, okay? And I know that he plays a little, like, thuggish the way that he acts, and I'm not saying that because he's fucking black, okay? Calm down. I'm saying that, you know, just fucking his demeanor. He acts a little gangster. He's like the UFC's 1995 Snoop Dogg, okay? And, but I think, perhaps, Kevin Holland, after that shooter video, perhaps he got hired by, like, Dog the Bounty Hunter or something like that. Jorge Masvidal mentioned he's got multiple felonies. You know what I mean? And he very well could be in hiding. He's probably got a massive, like, compound with, like, gates where you've got to get buzzed in and shit. Perhaps there's just been bounty hunters looking for him for a while. And Kevin Holland was trying to lure him into a trap so he could catch him. Call Dog the Bounty Hunter up. Got your boy. Kevin Holland seems like a good law-abiding citizen. Except I don't know what state he lives in, so maybe weed's not legal there, but regardless, dude. Dude, that show was so ridiculous. Dog the Bounty Hunter playing a Christian after he's, like, screaming and fucking yelling, swearing, reefing cigarette smoking these guys' faces. It was hilarious. It always made me laugh. But anyways, Kevin Holland might be a bounty hunter. Also, no, that's it. I think that if these two were to fight, okay, oh no, I don't. Before I get into that, dude. That video sucked. Whoever fucking filmed that, it sucked. But also, there was a bunch of people yelling, so it's not really their fault. But, like, landscape that shit, bro. Don't be fucking... You know what I mean? Anyways. That dude with Jorge Masvidal. Don't care if he's a Division I NCAA champion. Don't care. He's a fucking goof. Okay? The guy, unironically, like... not jokingly, right? Like, lifted his shirt up just past his tits. As if that's what, dude? Does he have, like, Blastoise cannons in his fucking nipples and he's about to use hydro pump, or what the fuck's going on, dude? Because that was stupid. Okay, you look like an idiot. And I don't care. Again, I don't care about his credentials. Yeah, NCAA champion, training at ATT. Cool, he's probably a fucking beast. Guess what? He's a goof. That's goof material, dude. Don't do that. That's like... Dude, in grade 7, okay, I was 12 years old. I used to get bullied because I was a little chubby. In grade, like, 5 when I was 10. So I started working out at the age of 10. By 12, I was shredded. Okay, like, ridiculously, and, like, with no body fat on my body whatsoever, so it was, like, kind of creepy, actually. And then I would still get bullied, so then I just would show people, I'm like, what, dude? In the change rooms, I would flex on them, and they'd be like, oh, shit, that guy's strong. And then, yeah, that's, like, what that dude was doing, but I was 12, okay? You're, like, a full-grown man. Don't do that, you idiot. Who does that? I couldn't believe it. And then I couldn't believe that there were people defending him in the comments. I don't care who he is or what he's done. That is dumb. And also, it had nothing to do with you. He's just trying to... That's like a Dylan Dennis moment. Guy's trying to be relevant for some shit he's got nothing to do with. But I couldn't understand a word those guys were saying to each other anyway, so it was kind of silly. But if these two were to potentially fight... And I know a lot of people are probably going to say Kevin Holland would whoop his ass. I don't think so, man. I think you got to... If you're looking at them... Okay, Kevin Holland is a striker. Yeah, he's got decent jiu-jitsu, and perhaps he could have done something to Wonderboy on the ground. Jorge Masvidal's ground game is fucking leaps and bounds above Stephen Wonderboy Thompson's. Maybe not defensively. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson's got pretty decent, like, defensive wrestling. You know, Gilbert Burns had him down for like 3 rounds and he didn't get submitted. But offensively, Jorge Masvidal is much better on the ground. I don't think that Kevin Holland would like take him down and fucking, you know what I mean? I just don't think that. And I think that when you're looking at them as as strikers, you have to erase Jorge Masvidal's last like 3 fights, because the only reason he has looked subpar on the feet against his, or in his last 3 fights, are because of the threat of fucking takedown, right? And then not just that, but the ability to keep you down, because it's against 2 of the best wrestlers in the division. Kevin Holland ain't that. It would be a pure striking battle. And if we're talking about technique, we're talking about technique, not practice, technique. Without a doubt, Jorge Masvidal has better technique than Kevin Holland. The guy's got a good straight 1-2, and that's about it. With all due respect to Kevin Holland. And a decent Superman punch, I guess. But, and I know that MMA math or algebra or whatever doesn't really work like this, but if you look at their common opponent in Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, and when Jorge Masvidal fought him was when he was like challenging for the title, like actually probably in his prime, and versus Kevin Holland fighting him when he's like 40. While Jorge Masvidal absolutely got schooled on the feet by Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, he was not ever in the kind of trouble that Kevin Holland was in. So, you know what I mean? He got put on his butt a couple times, but they were from side kicks that he didn't see coming. And to be fair, fucking no one did, because Wonderboy can get that shit up like right now. But I think that I don't think it would be like a fucking blowout fight for Kevin Holland. I might actually even pick Jorge Masvidal, just because I think his technique's better. And yeah, I think he's more explosive too. I just think that Kevin Holland, we've talked about this with Pajeda and Izzy and like shit like that. Dudes that are really long and lanky, Sean O'Malley's another good example. They've got some kind of crazy fucking leverage that these other guys don't have, so their shots are powerful. But they don't need to be explosive to be powerful. It's just because of the way that their bodies are built. So anyways, dude, that's the end of this video, because there's no point in going on about it for much longer. Kevin Holland's a funny dude. He's all good, dude. And Jorge Masvidal, dude, you guys need to stop fighting backstage with people. It's silly, dude. Gilbert Burns was onto something. Jorge Masvidal's the next Nate Diaz. He's going to be the one getting in all these altercations. And I know that he had the altercation with Bisping and shit like that too. So something about hotel lobbies just make Gamebred's blood boil. And like and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. I'll see you at the next video. Bye-bye.